Welcome to Healing Hearts TV. I'm your host, P Melody. Today I'm going to talk to you about cults. There are many cults in this world. At the head is the Vatican. I know not just by hearsay, but because I had to endure some things growing up. I'm not going to spill too much right now, but I will tell you this. I used to visit a Catholic church, especially on a Friday night. We used to go to youth group at a Catholic church. And I'm going to tell you a story about that. And then I also had to go to a Sunday church that was a cult, and they were Freemasons, right? Now, you would never know just by entering the church. By entering the church, they were preaching from the Bible. You heard about Jesus. You heard about the 12 disciples. You heard about Matthew, Luke, John. You heard of everybody, right? It seemed like a normal church, but what they did behind closed doors was the abnormal part. And that's what these secret societies are all about. Now, many of us today, and many of you my age, right, when you were growing up, you were most likely going to a cult church. You may not remember everything that happened to you. You may be fortunate enough to remember maybe one of your parts, because they do with programming and parts, and once you get a certain age, if you don't oblige, then they deprogram. However, I want to tell you about a time that I was at the Catholic church. This is when I realized something was wrong. I had to be about 12, maybe 13 years old, and it was a regular Friday night, and the leader, he was a priest, he told us that he's gonna show us something on the wall, right? And we went outside, he showed us the wall that was leading to the cemetery. It was an archway, no, a moon gate. And Freemasons, they deal heavily with this moon gate, this arch, and it's a lot of stuff to unpack, so I'm not going to unpack it, but I'm going to tell you my experience. And so there was an archway, and right on the left of the archway, we looked at the wall and there was nothing. It was a white wall. Then he took us back inside, and he told us to repeat. We were chanting. We're supposed to be there just having fun as kids, right? He had us repeat 3 names. He told us that we're going to call up the body. So the thing that we called up had 3 different names. And I'm just going to say the last name. So he said we had to chant and say body, right? And we had to do that 3 times. And we went outside. We looked on the wall. I kid you not. We had called up a spirit. And the thing was on the wall. It was a big, humongous face that was like the whole size of the wall. And the face was like 3D coming up out of the wall. Every one of us ran inside screaming. Could not believe our eyes. And then he was like, want to get back out there and see if it's still there. I don't know who else did, if anybody did, because I weren't going back out there. I'm sorry. And I don't think I went back to that church after that. I think I had made every excuse on a Friday night until I didn't have to anymore. Going to the Sunday church that I went to. Many churches, if not most churches today, they're all some type of order. They're all following the system that was created by Constantine way back in 321 AD. That's when he started bringing paganism into Christianity, right? And it's not Christianity at all. It's a false religion, right? And if you're a Freemason or you've been to Freemason meetings and all of that, listen, you know what I'm talking about. But for the kids, a lot of these children at these churches, they'll get to these churches, and they may not even remember. Some may remember, but they were sacrificed. Sacrificed in cruel ways, living sacrifices. Some have died. They burn children alive. It's a lot of stuff that happens in these secret societies and these secret meetings when you reach a certain level. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I do want to tell you, if you are involved, you recall weird things going on in your church, you recall, some type of involvement, if you're having dreams, about being in circles with men and women standing around you with black capes on, and as a child, if God's bringing these memories back to you, you most likely went to a cult church, or you were involved in some type of cultic activity. First level to become a member of any cult is to renounce the light that you formerly knew. Freemasons, even the sororities and the fraternities. But you're not gonna know you're renouncing Jesus Christ. You're gonna think you're a Christian because they're not gonna tell you to renounce Jesus Christ. They're gonna tell you renounce maybe the light you formerly knew or something like that, right? Then you pledge allegiance to these other gods. Like the Freemasons is 33 degrees. Each level, it's a different master, including names of, you would believe, God, like Adonai is one of the names that they pledge to. And then it's not until you reach up to like level 30s and like up there when you start calling on the name of Satan, Lucifer. You're in so deep, and they make you pledge, and the oaths that you pledge to, that they make these people pledge to, are evil. They make agreements that they can be taken out into a forest and their tongue can be pulled out of their mouth and they can be gutted alive and burned to death. With each pledge, the oath of secrecy, it gets darker and darker. Like, I know what's going on, right? But I've asked persons that I know that are Freemasons. I'm like, so what you guys do? Oh, it's just a brotherhood. Oh, it's just family. So I'm like, so you guys don't do certain things like sacrifices? Oh no. When their armpits are sweating, their palms are sweaty. At this point, the heart starts beating fast because they're wondering what you can pull out of them, right? You need to renounce these things. Because if you think you're going to go to heaven, if you think that you can go to church and be talking about, oh, I follow the truth, the way, and the light, it's a lie. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. You can only serve one master. It's either your cold or you're hot. God said if you're lukewarm, he will spew you out. Amanda Byes has great renunciations on her site. K-A-A-N-A-N Ministries. She's an African lady, Amanda Byes. And she has many renunciations. The Vatican is first, right? And then is the Illuminati. And then it's the Freemasons. And then it trickles down. The Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the Kiwanis Club. If you have ever had any involvement in this, you need to go and renounce. You need to go and find these renunciations. Like I said, they had me involved in certain things thinking I'm going to church. Karate. If you ever did these things, you're involved with these people, with these orders. They call on things that it's not Jesus Christ of our life, which is the name above all names. The only name by which you can be saved. And it's the only way to the Father. It's about 10,000 or something, however many religions in this world. The only way you're going to get to heaven is the one relationship with Jesus Christ, the bread of life. He's the only door that leads to the Father. All other doors lead to hell. All other doors lead to Satan. Every other door. I don't care if it's Krishna, I don't care if it's Muslim, I don't care if it's whatever other religion you find in this entire world. Whatever idols they're worshiping, cats and dogs and serpents and Buddhas and all sorts of stuff. All of those religions, they say that they're seeking God, of the Father, the Creator, I don't know what they're seeking, right? But they all lead to hell. Their master is all Satan. Satan has duplicated himself into so many different forms. Over 10,000 of them. All of their masters are Satan. If you are able to dig deep, because I can't tell you as much as I want to tell you, but if you're able to dig deep into this thing, dig deep. Dig deep in your family history. These people set up altars. You need to set yourself free from these ancestral altars so that your children can be free, your children's children can be free, and that you can receive Jesus Christ for real.
Operation Destination. Got a situation. Operation Destination. Singing a solution. Watching Hearts TV. Operation Destination. Got a situation. Operation Destination. Singing a solution.